on the campaign trail this weekend when it comes to the battle against ISIS and the issue of accepting Syrian refugees. Trump going off in Birmingham, Alabama on Saturday, saying that thousands cheered when the Twin Towers fell on September 11, saying that thousands of Arabs in Jersey City, New Jersey watched that and cheered. Then he defended his remarks yesterday on ABC's This Week.
You know, the police say that didn't happen at all. Those rumors have been on the internet for some time. So did you misspeak yesterday?
Happen. I saw it. It was
you saw that with your own eyes?
George, it did happen. There were people that were cheering in the other side of New Jersey where you have large Arab populations. They were cheering as the World Trade Center came down. I know it might be not politically correct for you to talk about it, but there were people cheering as that building came down, as those buildings came down. And that tells you something. It was well covered at the time.
All right, now I want to bring in NBC's Katie Tur, who's with Donald Trump today in Ohio. And Katie, start with some news just in the last few minutes. Donald Trump has actually taken to Twitter in the last 10 minutes to go into this issue a little further. He is claiming vindication, pointing to a September 18th, 2001 article in the Washington Post. This appears to be the only contemporaneous major news article that got into this issue. He's talking about, I can just read the passage he's citing here. It says, this is from September 2001 in Jersey City. Within hours of two jetliners plowing into the World Trade Center, law enforcement authorities detained and questioned a number of people who were allegedly seen celebrating the attacks and holding tailgate-style parties on rooftops while they watched the devastation on the other side of the river. Katie, again, this appears to be the only account we can find from that period that even begins to approach the kind of scene that Donald Trump is describing here. Can't find any video of this. Are you expecting, though, this is a case an issue he is going to be pressing now in the days ahead?
I'm not entirely sure. In the past, when we've said we're sure he's going to talk about something or hit something, he hasn't necessarily talked about it during his rallies. I certainly wouldn't be surprised. Again, the campaign doesn't give out notes as to what they're going to talk about on any given day or at any given rally. But he did say in that tweet that you just mentioned that he is right because a number of people are tweeting about it. And that seems to be Donald Trump's defense a lot of the time, that a number of people agree with him, so he's right no matter the facts. The reality is, that article says there were a number of people detained. It does not say thousands upon thousands of people were celebrating in the streets of Jersey City, which is what he said at that rally in Alabama, and it's what he reiterated to George Stephanopoulos on ABC. Thousands upon thousands of people, that it was well covered at the time, and that he saw it with his own eyes on television. The fact is, that was not shown on television because it wasn't actually happening. The only video out there of thousands upon thousands of people celebrating as the towers came down was video from at the time of people in Palestine doing that, Palestinians celebrating as the towers came down. There's no video that exists that we've seen. We've checked our archives. Other news organizations have checked their archives that show anything like that. This is something that would have been very well covered at the time. We were all out with cameras, all of our organizations. People were on alert for any sort of potential terrorist activity happening around them. It was a high state of alert for this country. So for him to come out after the fact and to say that he saw it on TV might be him misremembering at best. At worst, it's a lie.
You know, you mentioned also that issue of Donald Trump responding to what he sees on Twitter. That's another one of the controversies that erupted over the weekend that we're hearing about today. And this was a tweet that Donald Trump retweeted on his own account yesterday. It links to a graphic. The graphic makes it look like the overwhelming majority of murders in this country against African Americans, against whites, against all people are committed by blacks. The statistics here have been shown to be bogus that this tweet claims, and yet Donald Trump, for some reason, retweeted this from his own account yesterday. Do we have any more? Do we know anything more today about why he did this? And you follow him closely. I've noticed this seems to be a trend with him. He retweets a lot of seemingly random things.
I think he retweets what he sees without thinking about what the consequences are. A lot of us have retweets are not necessarily endorsements on our Twitter page, but a lot of us are not necessarily running for president. And when he retweets something and gets as much attention as it's getting, there are some questions surrounding what exactly he's trying to achieve. In that retweet, the graphic says that 81% of white people killed are killed by black people, and that's citing some crime source from San Francisco that doesn't exist. It's also saying that it's 2015 2015 statistics. The FBI is the one that releases those statistics, and they haven't released 2015 because we are still in 2015. Their 2014 statistics say that only about 15% of white people killed were killed by black people. So there are questions surrounding just what a tweet like that is hoping to achieve. Steve.
All right, Katie Tur on the road with Donald Trump in Ohio. Thank you for that. And with that, Thomas, we will throw it back to you in Paris.
I'm going to start with NBC's Chris Jansen here with me in Paris. And Chris, the big development over the last 20 minutes, this AP report about the explosive belt that was found to the south of us.
Not independently confirmed by NBC News, but Radio France is also reporting this, that there was a street cleaner who found it in a garbage can just south, as you said, of Paris in a town called Montrouge. Apparently, it looks very much like the belts that were used here 10 days ago in the Paris attacks. It did not have a detonator, but it did have one set of charges in the front, one in the back, and the neighborhood now, as a precaution, has been cordoned off by police. Police have been on scene, and in addition to that, they have forensics experts who are on scene taking a look at it. And we have yet to see whether or not it has the same kind of signature, so to speak, as the belts that were used and were detonated in the attacks here.
And so this will put investigators completely south of Paris and much further away from Saint-Denis, where they performed Wednesday's raid.
Directly north. So here now, again, we're going south. But let's be clear, there has been a huge dragnet, as we've been reporting, the many hundreds of raids that they have been doing, the thousands of police who have been out. So this is not necessarily a surprise, but this is something clearly that they stumbled across as opposed to what they have been finding in these very targeted raids.
And a clarification for folks, and maybe we haven't learned this as of yet, but I think one thing we can point out to everybody at home, that there are clear trash bags in and around the city that they use for collection to help with seeing anything that might be untoward left behind. Do we have any information on whether or not it was?
We don't, but we have a crew. We have a crew on the way there, and so as soon as they get to the scene, they probably won't be able to get close enough. Yeah, it absolutely is right. Yeah.
So for security measures, another update that we have about pictures that are out that the police have put through social media asking for help in identification.
Yeah, now they're putting them out with translations because they want to cast, again, as wide a net as they possibly can. The first one, the guy we've been talking about so much for these last 10 days, Salah Abdeslam. He is the one known attacker who is still on the loose. Again, you know, that's why we're seeing so many raids in the area of Brussels. There have been reports even that he was seen heading in a BMW toward the German border. But two others, one was first released late yesterday, but these are two of the suicide bombers who actually were killed in the attacks here in Paris. Why then are they trying to identify them? Well, if they can figure out who they are, if they can start tracking down known accomplices, if they can get information by interviewing friends, family members, going back to neighborhoods where they are known to be, then they have a situation where they can follow some leads. One of them believed to already have seen, they've already seen that picture in a passport that was found. But again, they don't have any clear identifications on who they are. And I want to make one more point. When they did find Aboud in the Saint-Denis apartment, one of the things that police said that day was that part of the reason that they were able to get there was because they got tips. So they believe that someone has seen them, someone will recognize them, someone will be brave enough, frankly, to come forward and make a phone call. It might be able to help track them down.
Yeah, it's the break that they need.
Yep.
NBC's Chris Jansen. Chris, thanks so much. And of course, we'll bring. So just days after the attacks here in Paris, the hacker group Anonymous declared in a widely distributed video a cyber war against ISIS propaganda.
We will retaliate. Not with violence, but with our intelligence about hacking.
ISIS there is the target of Anonymous, who has already claimed to have taken down thousands of their ISIS-related Twitter accounts. But is this campaign doing more harm than good? Evan Coleman is an NBC terrorism analyst. He's also a senior partner at Flashpoint Global Partners and joins me now back at 30 Rock in New York. Evan, first of all, a little bit of background here. What do we know about Anonymous, and is it worth seeing them go after ISIS? Typically, we would not find them to be something that the U.S. would say, okay, we support that activity online, but would the U.S. be supportive of this?
Yeah, so let's also remember that Anonymous is not a specific group where they have members. Anyone can technically be part of Anonymous by participating in these kind of low-level attacks on ISIS and al-Qaeda media. And I think these are two important caveats, which is that, number one, yeah, they have been having an impact, but they've been having an impact across the board, which means that they're not just attacking ISIS sites, they're attacking ISIS websites, they're attacking Hamas websites, they're attacking Afghan Taliban websites, they're attacking Ba'athist websites, they're attacking websites. They may not be great websites, but they have nothing to do with ISIS. So they have knocked a few ISIS sites at least temporarily offline, but then there's the other caveat, which is that, yes, international governments look to these forums and these chat sites for ways of getting intelligence about what ISIS is doing. This is how we know what chatter is. This is the definition of chatter. Blocking that chatter is like shooting our own spy satellite out of the sky. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. There are constructive ways of assisting in the fight against ISIS, and certainly it's very frustrating to see these folks spouting out this propaganda, but I guess that's the bottom line, is that if this campaign was truly effective, you wouldn't have ISIS releasing one video every single day, and that's what they've done. The last 8 days in a row, they've released 7 videos. So every single one of these videos has had to do with the Paris attack. So clearly, whatever they're doing, it's not stopping ISIS from their core mission on the internet, which is recruiting people.
NBC News terrorism analyst Evan Coleman. Evan, thank you very much.